Plea on Mr. John-Luc Hansen.
All right, this is cause number CR 24-73, State of Texas versus John-Luc James Hansen. Mr. Hansen, are you a United States, let me swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thanks, sir. You lower your hand. Mr. Hansen, are you a United States citizen who reads, writes, and speaks English?
Yes.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental condition?
Yes. Autism.
Autism? Are you currently under medical care or on medication for that?
No.
Do you feel like your autism in any way is affecting your ability to have a rational understanding of what's going on in court today?
No.
Okay. In this case, you are represented by your attorney, Mr. Jonathan Manning. Are you pleased with Mr. Manning and the work that he's done for you?
Yes.
And do you understand everything that you have read and signed in your plea agreement today?
Yes.
Mr. Manning, do you believe Mr. Hansen to be competent?
I do at this time, Judge.
And you've explained to him his rights as they pertain to this case and also the advantages and disadvantages of a deferred adjudication plea?
I have explained those, as well as warned him that the range of punishment on his case is up to 10 years, that that's what he'd be facing if he were found in violation and found guilty of this offense.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. All right, Mr. Hansen, you are charged by indictment with a third-degree felony offense of indecency with a child by exposure. That does carry a range of punishment of not less than 2 years or more than 10 years confinement in prison, and also a fine not to exceed $10,000. I see that the agreement in your case is upon you pleading guilty to that crime. The state's recommending that the court consider the evidence, not convict you, but place you on 10 years of deferred community supervision with a $1,500 fine plus court costs and reimbursement fees of $520. And the state would be dismissing and a filed indecent exposure. I think it's filed. It's 2024-84. Is that a filed or unfiled case? Usually it says DA in front of it.
Yes, Your Honor. That's a filed case in the county court at law.
Okay, so that is a filed case. Mr. Hansen, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes.
All right. All right, so at this time, Mr. Hansen, I would ask you, how do you plead to that crime? Are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty to that crime because, in fact, you are guilty of committing that crime?
Yes.
Has anybody threatened you, forced you, or pressured you to plead guilty here today?
No.
All right, court does accept the defendant's plea of guilt. Mr. Manning, any objection to the stipulation of evidence?
No objection as offered.
All right, stipulation of evidence is admitted, and the court does take judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Anything further from the state?
Your Honor, just that the state is in compliance. The victim impact statement was sent out and was not returned.
Thank you, sir. Anything further from the defense?
Nothing from defense, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Hartwell, can you assist me with a stipulation?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hartwell. All right, the court, having considered the evidence, finds that there is sufficient evidence to convict the defendant of this offense. The court will follow the plea agreement and recommendation of the state. Court hereby defers a finding of guilt on the offense of indecency with a child by exposure. Court assesses, or the court defers punishment, places him on 10 years of community supervision, orders him to pay a $1,500 fine, $290 court cost, $520 in reimbursement fees, and the court does dismiss under section 1245 filed cause number 2024-84, indecent exposure. Mr. Hansen, you hereby remanded to the custody of the probation department so they can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. Please step over to be fingerprinted. All right, who's next?
Ready for Mr.